as you can. You can't catch me because you're lying, man. No, today we're gonna talk about 5 shortcuts you should avoid. And yes, we are doing it while I'm having a hot flash because I'm having too many hot flashes and I'm not waiting. So we're just gonna record anyway, and you're just gonna have to put up with the fact that I have a fan right at this moment. I hope it doesn't bother you. The number 1 shortcut that you should avoid is trying to be somebody else. It just doesn't work. Like, be yourself. You're enough. You're amazing. You have unique talents that are like specific to you. And those talents are going to help you fulfill your dreams. Miss Abilene Clark from The Help, a little movie, she's probably one of the wisest people that I have ever met, even if she isn't real. You is kind, you is smart, you is important. One of the reasons that I think being yourself is kind of so hard right now, nowadays, I guess, is that there are so many filters on our lives. And so you don't actually get to see other people's lives for real oftentimes. You only see it through the rose-colored glasses that they have, put out there. We're gonna have like Lovely and Wannabe, okay? And so Lovely she just had it all together. Her kids were always well dressed and she had it all together. And Wannabe, Wannabe wasn't there. She was real. But she watched her friend, Lovely, and she just thought, well, how does she do that? There's gotta be some shortcut. There's gotta be something that I'm missing. How is it that she's doing this? Lovely was like, I would love to be able to sit down with you and give you some tips on, on how I manage to, keep my life pulled together. And so Wannabe and Lovely set up this little thing, and Wannabe actually messed up the time, and it was supposed to be on Wednesday and she showed up on Tuesday. And so, Tuesday at noon, she's pulling up to Lovely's house, and one of Lovely's daughters is running naked through the yard, and Lovely was standing out there on the front porch yelling, "You better get back here!" And Wannabe didn't even stop. She just kept driving, and she went home and she thought to herself, that taught me more than anything that Lovely could have told him she's gonna tell me tomorrow. Because that's real. That's what really happens. People have these moments. Everybody does. And whether they let you see them or not, they are having them. Be yourself. Own it. Whatever it is that, whatever aspect of your personality that is a little bit out there, own it. And what you don't have in ability, make up for in commitment. People love seeing other people who have commitment. They respect that. It's a super desirable trait. So desirable that people gravitate towards it. And if you're doing something with complete and total commitment, people will join in, even if it's something that they would normally not be caught dead doing. And so be yourself. Be completely yourself. Here's a little secret that I haven't actually told anybody. I don't think I have. Maybe I have. We're going with it. I haven't. I don't know if I have. My personality is a little bit off the wall, and I know that. And sometimes I am just a little bit odd. Enough so that being somebody behind the camera seems kind of a little bit weird, because I don't have that calm demeanor Like, it doesn't, like, I don't know what happened, but like that, like, shield or whatever that people hide behind, it didn't, like, it just doesn't happen for me. It disappeared. I ripped holes through it. I don't know. It's not there. I understand I am weird, and that I kind of get a little bit crazy, and that I tell too many stories and I talk too much. Guess what? What I don't have an ability, I am going to make up for in commitment. I'm just gonna own it. That's just me. That's who I am. I tell too many stories. I talk too much. I have weird opinions. I'm okay with that. Hopefully other people are too. And if they don't, and if they aren't, guess what? I don't care. This is me. This is the real me. The second shortcut that you should avoid is not going after your live streams and just settling for a pre-planned life. You don't want to look back one day and think, I wonder what would have happened if I had tried that. I wonder if my life would have turned out differently and maybe better. The thing is, if you don't make a plan, if you don't decide what you want to be when you grow up, and maybe that's what it should be. Maybe not like, not going after your dream, but maybe it should actually be figuring out what your dream is so that you can go after it. If you don't decide what you want and actually make a plan to get that, then life just kind of starts happening, and pretty soon it's just a habit, and you just go day in and day out doing the same things, and pretty soon you realize life is boring, you don't like it, and you're not going anywhere. Go out there and do what your soul is wanting to do. And in the process, you might just inspire others to do that as well. The definition of insanity is I should say a definition of insanity. One of the definitions that I came up for insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. If you do the same thing day in and day out without any plan whatsoever of how to get you where you actually want to go, you're never going to get there. So figure out where you want to go, what you want to do, what is your plan, what is your heart's desire, and start doing little tiny things to get there. Sometimes I think that we don't go out and do things because we're afraid of what life is going to hit us with when we do that. Well, I'm here to tell you that life is going to hit you whether you're out there going for your dreams or not. So you might as well go for your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. Remember, you are worth more than that. You have unlimited potential that's just waiting for you to take hold of it and use it to fulfill your dreams. The third shortcut that you should avoid is being quiet when you should have spoken up. There are a few things about speaking up that you need to take into consideration before you decide that you're just going to not say anything. And those are, when you don't say anything, that's kind of it's deemed as approval. If you don't say anything, then they just assume that you agree with them, whether you do or not. Another reason why you should speak up and say something is because they may not know. You may have information that they don't know and they haven't taken into consideration, or maybe they have the information but they haven't considered it the way that you have. And so speak up and say something. Others may feel the same way that you do, and they just don't have the courage to speak up. And if you do, oftentimes they follow. They need somebody like you to lead the way. So be a good example and say something. You don't be rude or anything like that, but you need to speak up and say something. Use your voice. The fourth shortcut that you should avoid is lying to yourself. And kind of also procrastinating. Make a plan and do it. Saying something like, I'll do it tomorrow, usually means I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's what that means. Oftentimes when we say those kinds of things, we have zero intention of actually doing it. And if you have zero intention of actually doing it, then quit lying to yourself and just don't do it. Just say it. I'm not going to do that. But if it's important enough that you're not going to just not do it, does that make sense? I don't even know. But if it's important enough, do it. You have to decide. I usually try to get one thing that is like one of those, I want to put it off and I don't actually want to do it, one of those done every day. Of course, sometimes everything on my list is, I don't want to do that, I want to put it off, but whatever. I just try and do one every day. You don't have to accomplish everything all at once. Lying is something that we use to escape something that we don't like, while allowing ourselves not to feel guilty about it. Except, you're still gonna feel guilty. In the back of your head, there's gonna be like this little voice saying, run as fast as you can't catch me 'cause you're lying, man. We need to just admit that we have insecurities and vulnerabilities. Admit that life makes us uncomfortable, very uncomfortable sometimes. The problem with letting your fears decide what you're gonna do and make your decisions for you is that your choices are being made by something or someone else. That's not a happy way to live. Make your own choices. You have the ability to choose. Use that to make a happy, joyful, wonderful life for yourself and for your family. Instead of avoiding uncomfortableness, you should just deal with it. And then just like throw it away like yesterday's trash. We need to face our fears. If you say you're gonna do something, then you should do it. And so don't put on your to-do list exercise at 6 o'clock tonight if you have no intention of actually doing that. If you put it on your list, do it. Just be careful what you put on your list. I understand having to put off something because that's just not the season of life that you're in right now. And maybe you have children or aging parents or whatever, that you have the situation that you're in at this moment, and what your priorities have to be are not what your dreams are. But that doesn't mean that you can't still be focusing on those dreams. If you want to be, let's say, I don't know, a writer, and you have young children, and so having time to sit down and actually write is just not in the cards right now. And it's probably not going to be in the cards for a while. Like, a while. It is not your season in life. That doesn't mean that you can't make up stories in your head and like practice that particular aspect of the skill. Or maybe when you put your kids to bed at night, you could make up their bedtime stories instead of, reading them. Or instead of reading the actual story, you could make up different stories for the pictures that are in the book. Like, there are other things that you can do that would like kind of lean towards the thing that you want to do, because one day you're gonna wake up and realize the winter's over. And you need to just hop out of bed and get moving on your dreams. The fifth shortcut that you should avoid is quitting because it's hard. Don't take that path of least resistance. Don't take that easy path. Life is supposed to be hard. It's a test. It's a short test where we learn from our suffering things that we couldn't learn any other way. Compassion and our desire to do what is right and help others, it's either going to shine through in this life or die completely. But as long as we're here, we can choose to let those desires for good shine through. Even if, or maybe I should say, especially if, you've made mistakes before and maybe did something that wasn't so nice when compassion would have been a better choice. The point is, life is hard, and it's okay that it's hard. Although I don't really like the fact that it's hard sometimes. I do know that in looking back at some of my trials, that I am thankful for what it has given me and how I'm able to maybe understand a situation that I'm faced with now in a different way that I would not have understood if I had not gone through a particular trial. I understand wanting to quit because it's hard. Unfortunately, I understand that really, really well. When I was in a moment of just real despair, I had this thought of, why am I here? So I had this thought of, why am I here? What is the point of my life? Why, I wanted to die. And as I was having this thought, the thought occurred to me that perhaps by staying here, I could make it easier for somebody else. That perhaps by staying here, because of some of the trials that I've been through, that perhaps I could help somebody else and be compassionate towards somebody else in a way that maybe others couldn't. Or that I might understand something, or that maybe I could just make it easier for somebody else. So I grabbed a hold of that thought. And I was like, yeah, that is kind of like what I would like to do. I would like to see if there was a way for me to do something that would make it easier for somebody else. Shortly thereafter, I was talking with one of my adult sons, and so he had moved to a new spot, and when he got there, the bathroom was pretty dirty, and so he cleaned the bathroom. And his roommate, he was telling me that his roommate was like pretty astounded at how clean the bathtub was and the toilet was. And he says that, he's like, his roommate had said something like, that's not even the same color. And apparently his roommate had tried to clean the bathtub, they had tried to clean the toilet or the bathtub or, those kinds of things. And it didn't come clean like that. And I thought to myself, there are an awful lot of people out there that don't quite have all of the adulting skills that they need, that maybe could use a mama to teach them how to clean the toilet, or maybe could use a mama to help them know how to cook, or maybe could use a mama to help them reconsider their stance on something, or just, they could just use a mama. And I have always wanted to be a mama. That was my life's dream. The idea of maybe being a mama for some of those people out there that need just a little extras advice or help in a specific area, that really appealed to me. And I thought, I wonder how I could do that. And YouTube. I have to admit, when the idea of YouTube first came to me, I was like, Yeah, no, that does not sound like fun. I don't like that idea at all. Please, let's not do that. But my desire to help people was like the only thing that was, why do I cry on these things? Was the only thing that was like, there was the only reason to keep going. And so, whether I wanted to be on YouTube and I wanted to like make videos or learn how to edit or put my weird personality out there or not, it was what I was clinging to. And so I did. Those are 5 shortcuts in life that you should avoid. And I do not want to end another video with like me bawling, which is kind of dumb. I don't like it at all. And so instead, we are going to end with me dancing. I'm just gonna be dancing to the music in my own head, which, yeah, isn't really difficult for me. So, thanks for joining me on A Lolly Life, and I'll see you next time.